Yeah, now I had to switch.
7 sharp.
Okay, guys, girls, we have Teodora with us, and it's absolutely great. Yeah, she made Gina scared because, well, I'm not responsible anyway. Gina is her deputy, so Gina was extremely scared. I have to say, but well, we do have our star speaker, Teodora Petkova from Bulgaria, from Sofia. Hi, Teodora.
Hi, everyone.
We are very, very glad to see you with us. Okay, guys, we will wait. I'm pretty sure people will be gathering. I can see we have more viewers than a couple of minutes ago, and we're already on air. So let's do our usual thing. Everyone who just joined us, just stay with us. Don't go anywhere. Everything interesting will start in a few minutes, but we will. Okay, Mary, don't mute your microphone, and Nina, please don't. So we expect some kind of little of conversation. Okay, let's start from the deputy. Gina, what you been up to recently? Yeah, anything interesting, exciting?
Yeah, well, the most exciting thing that we're doing recently is that we're redesigning our company website for Fat Eyes Web Development, and it's been quite a deep project. We haven't done it, gosh, at least 3 years, which is really long for us, and so much has changed, and we really hate our website, and since, you know, considering the work that we do, that's kind of an embarrassment. So we're really excited to be heavily underway with that, and it's been quite the it's not easy. Let's just say that. It's a very complicated and thought-provoking experience, and actually really good for us. We're very excited.
Marie, your first time with us. We're very, very nice to see you. Marie from sunny California, Marie Stowell. Marie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
What I'm really focusing on this year is Google for nonprofits. I have a couple of clients, and Google has such a great nonprofit program, and it's really awesome to help them be able to take advantage of not only the ad grant, but YouTube for nonprofits and get some traction that way. So that's pretty much what I'm doing right now, and learning to write more, better, thanks to Teodora.
Okay. Sure, we will have more for you later. Today, according to Teodora's plan, Nina from Bulgaria, Nina Tarankova. Nina, what you first time here with us as well, which is very nice to see new faces. Well, as all faces as well. Yeah, not all. All faces of all friends. Okay, Nina, what you been up to?
Hi, my name is Nina. I'm working with leaders to get them on the digital ground. I'm now exactly engaged with the Google Create program, and we are having the 50th anniversary of Google+. I'm very excited. And also on I don't want to take the time because I have a long list, but thank you for having me on the panel. Thank you, Teodora. Thank you, Anton, and everybody. Nice to meet you. That's a long list, but I love what I do, really, every minute.
Okay, we have Omi, who's done a webinar with us, the one and only Omi from London. Yeah, well, here today, yeah, all the beautiful girls around you, you're kind of one and only, yeah, in a way.
Yeah, I've just noticed I'm the only male on the panel.
Yeah, okay, Omi, you got, well, quite recently new job, you're big boss now, so how's going?
Oh yeah, like everybody knows, yeah, I've got a new job. I just started a new job this Monday, and I'm going to be working for the biggest English newspaper website, Daily Mail, or Mail Online.
Wow. Yeah. Congratulations.
Oh, I don't know if congratulations is the right word. It's really
you're going to be with the Daily Mail. That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, the website is so big. It's just oh my God, I can't even get the numbers in my head yet. You know, I've only been there for 4 days anyway, but it's difficult. It's not easy. Yeah.
So every time Omi is here, he's got a new job. That's so interesting. So
Funny enough, yes.
next time we see him, he'll be prime minister. Prime minister.
No, I can't fight with Trump. I can't.
Okay. No prime minister. Okay. Yes, some other minister.
We will be optimizing the Earth website for intergalactic search engine.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, we won't ask Teodora what she's been up to because she will be talking basically in no time. So we have only time for our very regular guest, Zara. Zara, well, I know you get used to. I'm asking you like almost twice a week what you've been up to. I'm sorry about that.
Anton, it's very simple writing. So,
Okay.
and I am actually into a project now for a client. So I've been doing some research and taking a lot of documents and putting them into a work in progress document, which is everything, all the resources, the bibliography, and just last night finally started working on the text for the book.
Okay, I guess we waited enough. Teodora, it's all yours. You can switch on your microphone and it's just all yours. Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, Anton, first, thanks for inviting me. Thanks everybody for sharing the word about this webinar. I'm so excited, and I hope I will be able to say at least anything about writing, plus the excitement. I have a loose plan that I'm going to stick to so that my talking takes about 20 minutes, and then I hope we'll be able to just start the conversation about verve and about how important it is these days when the semantic web is unfolding and is making our lives more transparent, easier, and more exciting. As I have outlined in the webinar intro, I'll be talking about planning, organizing, and verve. Also, these three will be divided in three parts, which are the conceptual basis of planning, organizing, and verve, the what to do part of these three, and a funny part, which is called get off your metaphysical cloud and just write that stuff. Let me start with planning. I think the most important thing when you plan for web writing is to bear in mind and to realize the importance of entering a dialogue when you write. Also, you have to be crystal clear about what you want to tell your audience. I have a very nice example for this. Recently, I stumbled upon a share where kids were given a typewriter and they were asked, "What is this thing?" And after a couple of funny answers, there was a boy who said, "Oh, I know what's this. This is used to help people send messages to other people." And this is stunning because this is the very essence of writing. And it is the very essence of web writing, since on the web messages are amplified wildly. So when you plan for writing, you really need to have that simple idea that you're just sending a message to other people. The what to do part with these concepts, with the concept of entering a dialogue and the concept of sending a message. So the what to do part is try to weave your texts as if there is someone at the other side of your text who needs your solution, who needs your sparks, who needs your information. Because many people approach web writing like this is something they have to write, this is something they have to just put there in their blog, and few are those who approach web writing with the idea that they're going to change someone's mind, to cross boundaries, to travel across untraveled lands. And this excitement of finding new ways to send messages, of finding new words to communicate what you have to say are very valuable and are bringing audiences to you, because people can feel when you really live with what you write. And as for it's funny that writing is very much, is kind of separated from business. These are not separate things. This is one and the same, and it's about exchange. And writing is about exchanging thoughts and ideas. So when you start writing, you should really try to understand how to ignite that spark in the other person. Connecting the dots for people is always valuable, and doing this with writing is great. The get off the metaphysical cloud and just write part of this is something I found 2 days ago. I was looking for swimming pools for babies, and I was searching, and out of the blue I found a blog post about boxes for storage boxes. So this blog post was describing how these storage boxes can be turned into different things, like swimming pools for babies, for really little babies. And these storage boxes were also turned by men for in beer coolers. So when you're planning for writing, you really have to research your topic, not only within the boundaries of your core keywords, but also beyond these boundaries, where products become dynamic, where these products live, where the concepts, the business you're writing about, are living their own life. And again, this is you entering an endless exchange of thoughts and things and words. And this is transforming. Your writing should be transforming. And when you plan for blog posts, it's not about writing 5 quick tips how to post on Facebook. It's about giving a good thought about how you're going to help your audience find the solution they need, find the spark they need, or just give them food for thought. Which brings me to the second part of the webinar, which is organizing. Organizing, for me, has a lot to do with the web of data. All technicalities aside, the web of data is changing our world. It makes us more connected. It makes the spaces we communicate in very dynamic and vibrant. buzzing with all kinds of ideas. So any writing in such spaces wouldn't do. You have to be enthusiastic about your writing, and you really need to organize your writing around around interesting topics in your domain, around things that are fascinating people or that intrigue them, around questions. If we get to the what to do part, what will bring you more attention is thinking. And the very process of organizing your web writing well is about thinking about the right words and about the right concepts that you will use when writing. Because further, these words and these concepts will become bridges that will connect you to your right audience. Again, to get back to the storage box example, when you look for baby swimming pools and you find a storage box, like you stumble upon a storage box image or something, this is kind of unexpected experience. And this is something that transforms transforms the query in your mind. You've never thought you can use these storage boxes for baby swimming pools. So this is not easy to do, but it's a winning strategy, I think, as it's again building bridges, building unexpected bridges between things. So also with organizing in such a very traceable environment, what the web of data is, creating a digital footprint and leaving digital breadcrumbs is entirely up to you, and you can design this experience. You can use words to shape your digital footprint, and this is the good news. Also, the good question in such a web of data that is a hyper-connected space is, are you webby and open enough to be the best in such a place, to be the best answer people are looking for? And I think being the best answer isn't about being the best writer. It's about being very focused and determined when it comes to transferring meaning through your texts, to disrupting the things that build your domain. I have as for the what to do part, I've written down a parallel, which is kind of old, but still works, because search engines and the web are very are not the libraries they used to be. If before search engines were using keywords the way you would use a keyword when browsing through library cards, today this is not the case. Yet when you're writing, it's a good idea to think that to start with a kind of library card above your blank sheet of paper, and think about your main concept, about what you want to touch with your writing. This will be your category. Then think about subcategories. These will be your tags, like the related things around your category. And then think about a headline that would deserve to be the headline of the card that represents your blog post. Again, when organizing for content writing, I think it's very important to try to amuse your audience with your writing, and in the same time make it super readable, super easy to digest for them, without, of course, simplifying things. Explaining in a human way is again a winning strategy for writing. It's people do need writers, or let's call them translators, from certain domains into their own world, like using technical terms and some terms that belong only to your domain is, of course, is unacceptable, and most writers don't do this. However, what they forget to include in all these translations are metaphors. It's very useful to organize writing around metaphors, and of course around your customer's language. I think was I too brief? I have about 10 more minutes. Everybody is silent.
It's very.
We all mute our
I'm
microphones
taking
because
notes.
Hangouts is
Maybe I
jumping.
should switch the lights on.
Okay, go on. Yeah, much better.
Yeah, sorry. It's just I had to switch really quick from baby to web writing, and probably my presentation was kind of scattered. Anyway, I got into talking, so the next thing is verve. And before I get to verve and say a few words about verve, and then start listening to Zara, Gina, Mary, Nina, Olmi, and Anton, because listening is a really big part of writing. Listening and reading. You should be really good at getting quiet and seeing what people are talking about, what people are writing about, and what they need as information as insights as to write good blog posts. So for the verb part, I have this concept thing that verve, excitement, curiosity, all these are connective tissue. These are things that will really make your web writing shine. I'm sure about this, because people don't need yet another blog post. They need thinking. They need somebody who has lived the text they are presenting to you. And as for the get off your metaphysical cloud part, guess what? Surprise. There is no getting off this cloud when it comes to verve. This time you're staying there. You're dancing in your text. You're showing your excitement. You're touching really cool topics, and you're changing the world with your text. I also have some answers to the questions I asked myself when writing the webinar intro, and I'll read these, and then I'll improvise on answering, and then I'll stop talking and start listening. Here's the first question. What processes to set as to write topical and relevant content? The answer to this is read, read, read. You really have to research a lot to read what people are saying on social media, to even get into the customers' inquiries. How are people approaching the company you're writing for? Because these inquiries are gems, and you can find really useful content there, really useful ideas for content there. Topical and relevant is also related to being with your content all the time. It is living in its rhythm, knowing what the domain you're writing about is interested in, etc. How to create authentic reading experiences across the web. Again, I said that. I'll repeat it because it's so nice that now being curious is being a good writer. And to create authentic reading experiences, you just need to aim at creating meaningful time. You really need to respect your reader with every word and with every sentence. You can't just write a sentence and afford not to check something, or afford bad language, or words that are not understandable for the reader. Everything counts. No matter how much time you'll spend on your text, you really need to be very considerate with writing. People will see that, and they will respond in an authentic way when they see that you are really concerned about what you are telling them, what is the message that you're sending to them. The third question is how to implement basic SEO understanding in your text. I'm a fragile girl, and here where Omi Sido is, I can't talk about SEO, so he will be talking about this. He will be talking about SEO. I really don't want to touch this domain when he's here. How to use writing for creating a findable digital footprint. This is very nice. A metaphor, I guess, came up, and it is use web writing as a pebble, the way you use a pebble to create ripples. Just throw stuff, but this stuff should be authentic, well thought, and respectful. Then you will get these ripples of people coming to your texts, reading them. Actually, they're not coming to your texts, they're coming to your thinking. So you need to make your text the result of an exciting journey throughout the topic you've researched. Why does semantic web matters for your texts? Well, because the semantic web is exciting, and it is changing our work, the way we work and live every minute. And this interconnectedness all around us is the same interconnectedness that texts have always tried to achieve. Now this is possible, and in such a brave new world, your texts should be brave new texts. They should not be only writing, only words. They should be a lot of thinking, a lot of care, and a lot of verve. I think that's it from me for now.
Great job, Teodora. I have something to add there. You were talking about brave new text and using your thinking and your care and verve. And one of the things that I want to tie in of that to what you were speaking about just prior to that is bringing who you are with you when you go, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have the spark in yourself, you're not going to ignite it in anyone else. And I think one of the really major stumbling blocks that can be really paralyzing for a lot of people trying to write, at least for their own companies, is that they people can tend to make an assumption that, and it creates a tension between thinking that we need to produce a certain thing versus making material about what you know best. And it can be, we can jump over what we take for granted about what's already incorporated in our own personal system. And when we do that, it's much harder to bring our heart. It's much harder to ignite a spark. And if we can kind of slow down, pull back, and get more simple to who we actually are coming to this, then we can tap in more easily to the things that will excite other people, potentially inspire other people, and have that meaning and care that you're talking about. Because if you're really sharing something of yourself, that's what people are going to respond to. And you're also going to respond to it. So it'll inspire you to write more as well. So it creates this really lovely loop.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely agree. You should have been doing the presentation.
No, thank you.
I think it's almost turn to like outline basic SEO stuff for good blogs and texts.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I've been muting myself. Yeah, so what I just wanted to add to this presentation, thank you very much first. It was very exciting. I just want to say that if content marketing, if content writing is your game, 2016 will be the year that it gets really, really competitive and a lot more exciting in a way, because finally we can use content marketing to, instead of ads, instead of just bombarding our clients with branding ads and stuff like that, we can just talk about ourselves. We can talk about our companies, what we do. In a way, by creating content, we create a clear and panoramic picture of the business niche we work in. Mm-hmm. As I said on the blog, when William Rock is around, don't talk about SEO. But still, as an SEO, I cannot not mention keyword research. I know I've been saying it a lot recently because people are saying keywords are bad and this and that. By doing keyword research is the only way to find what your customers are looking for. It's the only way to connect with them online. There is no other way, and you have to understand it. After my last webinar, I had a lot of critics online about saying it, but I just don't get it, how other people do it. This is how I do it, and this is what I show people. This is how I train people to do. At the moment, I'm working for Daily Mail. So trust me, people. Keyword research is the only way to connect to your customers. And you have to know what your customers are looking for, and you have to know what you can offer them, and you have to show them, and you have to make sure that they understand what you're talking about, and you have to make sure that you understand what they're looking for. Only then you can create good content.
And you have to speak their language.
Exactly. You have to speak their language. And the only way to do that is by keyword research. Otherwise, you're just creating copy for your bosses. And if you have to do a copy for your bosses, just email them, write a memo. That's it. When it comes to your website, talk to your customers. That's it from me.
Mm-hmm. This is something I want to add too. Writing is about collaborating, cooperating, and co-creating. Again, with these keywords, I'm not sure writing should start with keywords. Omi, sorry. But this is a nice thing to start a conversation about, because again, people think that the SEO part is different from the content marketing part, and this is totally wrong perspective.
Can I say something? I never said, yeah, this is the part that most people don't get. I never said do a keyword research and then take the keywords and write content. No, yeah. Do the keyword research to understand your audience. That's all I'm saying. I never said include them in your writing, because this will be just keyword stuffing. But you have to know your audience. No, it's as simple as that. If you don't know your audience, you're talking to nobody. And Google not going to rank your web pages anyway, because your audience going to ask one question, you're going to have something completely different on your website. As simple as that. Thank you.
I think it's great to do that research. Have in mind all of the things that you're hoping to accomplish. Just have them roiling around in your head. Just have them there through your process, but there's not a need to have that drive what your process is. And it's important for all individuals to experiment and find what process works best for them. But what Omi is saying is really valuable, and I agree with Teodora. So it's really not an either or, it's putting it all in there together. And not one thing comes first necessarily.
Exactly. This was my point. There's nothing that comes first. First, you have to understand your business. After that, you have to understand your customers. And after that, I think it's kind of easy to write copy.
Yeah, it's like you have to know who you are. You have to know what you do and why you do it. And at the same time, you should always be talking to your customers. So you're bringing all of those parts with you when you're there doing your writing.
Exactly.
I like Teodora's idea of the card, because what goes on that card is like the little mini skeleton of what the content is going to be and what the text is going to be about. And as you're doing the research, you're going to be filling in blanks on the card. So if you have an idea, and one single idea, which I noticed that Teodora stressed, you don't go wandering. It's a single idea. It's the thinking. That you need the thinking first. And Teodora, I don't think you were here when I was talking about my my process for writing with an author, and the whole of last week was reading all the background material, and there was a lot, and there's even more that I haven't read yet, and coming up with just what you say. I have this, like, I call it the work in progress document, and everything goes in there, but up at the top are the key concepts and the key things that we want to carry through as a theme. And it's the same for an article or a book, that that you need those things in your head, and and that little card helps. And I knew in doing fiction writing, it's the exact same process, and that there's there's this big discussion, if you will, in the fiction writing world. Well, are you an outliner or a pantser? Which means, do you outline everything, or do you just go by the seat of your pants? And I'm kind of somewhere in the middle, and it's just like the process that Teodora describes, is that there's this idea that's the thing that gets you going, and then for the different parts, it's like for the different subheadings in your article, You're going to go, oh yeah, I want to talk about that. And you just kind of put that there as, you know, this is going to be one of my subheadings, which probably means more research before you can actually write that particular, you know, subheaded topic. And so it all builds on itself as you go, but you have that original framework that comes from your thinking. Oh, does that make any sense?
Yeah. Can I add something that's also kind of a question, Sarah?
Yeah.
You said don't wander. And from where I sit and coming to all of this, having the experience of making art for so many years and the creative process, I actually really believe in wandering. So my curiosity here is
wandering and thinking, but not in the text.
Well, okay, so what I wanted to add is that I think it's okay to wander in your writing as long as you pull it back and edit strongly. So because sometimes that wandering actually brings you to some of the surprises and the spark and excitement that will eventually ignite the excitement in your readers. So if you stop yourself from having that exploration, you may not get there. However,
I think we're on that, and I think what I need to do is explain what I meant by wandering.
Okay.
And that is in the business web presence context, that in an article you're staying on topic. Let's go back to, you know, Omi's tires. Because that's a great example, you know, and I think we talked about that then. You know, if you're selling tires and you're talking about a specific set of tires, you know, the Pirellis, whatever. I'm not familiar enough with tires to know, but let's say that, you know, or the difference between, you know, Michelin and Pirelli. That there's one topic. If you're going to talk about hubcaps, that's a different place.
Yeah, and I'm not disagreeing with that at all. I'm only talking about process.
We're disagreeing, it's that the thinking that Teodora talks about is so important at the beginning. It's before you write a word, there's this humongous thinking process.
And I have to add something here.
Yeah.
I'm a guest to Teodora. I've sent her a frame. This is her drawing, and I'm very attached to your drawing. It's in your mail. So for me, exactly before you go to this playground, if you have witnessed a small baby, when you go to the sandbox, first thing the baby does is research a little bit and pick a toy, pick his favorite toy and his favorite words, like a metaphor. And the second thing is to share it and to look with whom to start the dialogue, the conversation. So my takeaway for today, I've written and sent it, is just this. What I'm doing, I have a guide. Before you go to this playground, you have to be prepared. So look for someone to guide you. It's not easy, because the web, anybody who is boss on their business, when they go to the web, they are just children. So I take the occasion to thank Stan Bush, because we have started writing a book. I don't know if I ever finish it, but this is the way to go, and not be distracted with all the business pages I go to, because then they change telling and writing the words. They're like influencing me, so I have to have a guide and go on my own way. And that's all I want to say. Thank you.
I'm so glad you said that, because that's how I teach all of my marketers, all of my content writers. I don't give them keywords. You know, many times in the past, we gave them keyword lists, and they would actually start to write a topic around a keyword list. focused on search engines, not around people. And the visitor experience is so key in today's age, from the mobile technology to being on this computer. You know, how did they interpret the data or content, and what was the actual expression that they came from, and did they actually do business with you afterwards? You know, but if you're just focused on the keyword or the query and the number of how many times that query came in your search analytics or Google Analytics, that's great. But what happened at the end of the day with your content? And the fantastic show, everybody's got great discussion because it's all around the visitor. And it's always been that way, but then because that's where we have algorithm updates all the time. It's basically somebody's used something to take advantage of something. Now let's go back to the visitor experience. If you want that person to buy from you, this is where you guys are writing such fantastic copy that brings the experience back to the visitor and then forces them to go, hey, either I want it or I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I have to completely agree with William, as usual. It's not about giving them keywords, it's about giving them ideas. But obviously, to have ideas, you have to do your research. And just to go back a little bit, I love the way Gina is wandering in her articles and is still managing to come back in the end to the main topic. Also, I just wanted to say something that because Zara mentioned headlines, and I said this before, absolutely nothing is worse than writing an amazing article and having a terrible headline. This is very, from an SEO point of view, but from any point of view, no one will click on it. You may have the best article, but if the headline is bad, the title is bad, spend time on it. This is my advice.
I spend so much time.
Spend time on the headlines.
They're very hard.
Yeah, I know.
They're hard to get right, and they do take a lot of time.
Yes, but they have to be right for the people to click on them and come to your amazing copy, content.
I just want to add something regarding the headlines. It's totally the opposite of what you were saying, and it is the way I write though. The things that I write first come in headlines. I don't know why. And as Gina is doing, she's wandering. So I'm wandering around this headline that is sent from I don't know where.
Yeah,
and this headline is guiding me, teaching me, and again, all this process, I transfer the excitement of this process and all the discoveries in it. I transfer in text, and people are seeing this, and they're going through the journey with me, which is valuable for them.
It's so cool to hear that. I do that sometimes too, and then I'm suspicious of it later. It's interesting. Like I'll start with that headline, and then I'll do the whole journey of the writing and come back to see if the headline still works. And oftentimes it doesn't, but it sent me on the journey. So it served its purpose, and there may need to be some shifting with it in the end. But I'm glad to hear somebody else hears those too, because I sometimes think I'm crazy.
Well, me too, but I like that.
I would say to add to that point, though, you look at your Google advertising. So if I was actually advertising for a business versus a personal, right? I'm advertising my headline. I've got only a limited amount of characters I can work with. And based off my negative keywords and positive keywords, I still have that difference of conversion. But at the same time, now I'm testing. And I can do the same thing with Google Plus on a free version. So now I can actually test on Google Plus. And you guys have all probably witnessed me like writing a title and then changing it, and then, oh my goodness, I spelled that wrong. Or, all those different little edits that we have capability-wise to do on Google Plus where we didn't have that in the beginning stage. It would be like posted and done, no editing. Oops. Now you have the opportunity to change that and be creative. Okay, well, no, I didn't get all the +1s, or no, there was no engagement. Well, all of a sudden, if I change that title in Google Plus, did I get engagement? Possibly. And now that's a different study that I'm always focused on. Okay, well, my landing page was optimized for this theme. Now I've actually done all my social, but I have no engagement, no conversion. How do I switch that with you guys and hey, let's change the teaser paragraph, the elevator speech, or something that can really drive that conversion from social to website, and then you can track through your analytics and then convert. Looking at all the data across the board.
I just wanted to add to this. Interesting enough, I do exactly the same thing. I always take my headlines from my PPC campaigns for the successful ones. I mean, for the one with a lot of conversion, and I apply them to the free traffic. So basically, the PPC people are doing the experimenting for me. They pay money, I don't care, and then I use it for my free traffic.
But you're testing on me, and you're testing it in a right way because you're actually able to use paid advertising. I can spend $100 for this landing page, per se, for 20 days or a whole month. Or we're only doing a 5-day test, right? Okay, well, I'm going to spend this much money on this ad or this 4-ad variation based off of this list of 10 keywords and test to see what was that highest click-through ratio based off of the ad performance, and now we know, okay, yeah, I can target that with my title tag and my description tag. So yes, I think that there's opportunity with paid, but unlimited. And then what I try to do is help people on the organic side versus the paid side. Yeah, we can spend a lot of money, but where we're focused on is how do we actually get longevity out of your content writing and looking at not stuffing keywords, but talking about the points to the product you're marketing. If it's a dress, or if it's a tool, or a tire for a motorcycle or a car, how would we market that differently? And it's utilizing what our skills are from understanding from the past to now in the future where Google's headed and where it's already been on the track for all these algorithms. But without focused on the algorithms, let's focus on the user experience. Right, Ami?
Theodore, you have an audience question. Could you give example of organizing writing around metaphor? You muted?
Is this for me?
No. I think it's for Teodora.
Yeah, I have a recent example, which is, again, about Semantic Technologies, this exciting thing I'm writing about. It is, we had to convey the idea of raw data turned into asset. So I made this raw diamonds turned into beautiful creations via enrichment, via doing the work over them, making all these facets. And the strange thing about this metaphor, and again, intuition is so bigger than any big data. The thing about this metaphor is that it perfectly suited the entire topic that I was writing about, together with, of course, consulting with the guys who know the technical stuff. So these raw diamonds and raw data turned into enriched, beautiful creations also came together with a headline, Semantic Technologies, our publisher's best friend, like the song that diamonds are a girl's best friend. And so there's a lot of value in metaphors. Another metaphor was I'm not sure if this is a metaphor, yet it's a comparison, a parallel. I had to explain the value of graphs. This is information presented in a more dynamic way, and it's a more flexible way of representing information than relational databases. Relational databases are look like tables. So the headline for this article was "Think outside the table." And again, these intuition sparks and the things that you right away think about are the right things to start with and to use to dig into the subject, because we know more than we think, of course, but this is too esoteric to talk about.
Anton, you want to read Bob's question? Muted.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, that's
can read it.
so I'll read this. I have a question for all in the context of the verve discussion. How do you all fit in emotional sentiment in the context of the web writing? Can you describe how it plays a role when you want to help your audience find the solution and incorporate it into a digital footprint? Wow, this is a week-long post.
I think Sarah was ready to answer. Looked like.
Okay.
Yeah, as Teodora was saying earlier, that the emotional connection with the visitor is really important, and it's the aim. It's the aim of content for a business, is that emotional connection. And it's, what she calls verve. It's getting them excited. And so I think, Bob, the easiest way to explain that for me is the old sales stuff about the difference between features and benefits, and that the focus on the benefit is an emotional focus, and it gets the visitor feeling good. It's everything that Teodora was talking about earlier and it's the benefit, and it's like way at the end or hidden in the middle. It doesn't even matter. You can talk about the feature, but what you're really talking about is that emotional benefit for the customer, which in this case on web writing is the site visitor. That's how I approach it. You can tell me all kinds of stuff about measurements and qualities and features and how many's and all of that sort of thing, but if it's not getting the site visitor an emotional hit, so what? What about the other ones that have the same measurements? It's like the difference between a soft tire. Let's just stay with the tires. I love them, and why Pirelli Soft is great for control, right? So I'm a control freak driver. And so I want my vehicle to do instantly what I tell it. And the tires help in that regard. And so say I was writing about tires, then I would say, because this tire gives you the control you need when you need to get out of a tight situation. And then you can use your measurement. You know, if there is one, if there's a study, then you can say it's 5.3 seconds faster, or whatever. But it's the emotion. That's how I address that sentiment and emotion, and getting the customer. And what I find for business owners is they know the facts, and it doesn't matter if it is a doctor or a guy who cleans drains. They know the facts, but they don't know how to write about those facts to get the visitor emotionally involved. And so for writing text, whether you're the business owner yourself or you are a content writer who writes for other people, it is so important. It's just get the emotional stuff of whatever it is you're talking about, whether it's it's a thing that you sell or a service that you provide. It's like, it's the wonder and the excitement and the theme of this webinar today, the verve of it all, that gets the emotions going. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. I feel really strongly about that. I guess you can tell.
Yeah, I have a short answer for what I do. In order to get to the right mindset, I use silence, and then I do zigzag. So when I keep in silence and go into this mindset for the topic I'm going to write, it's a thing that is giving answers, because I've listened a lot and stayed in silence. And I hope very much the CEO will get at the end with this index for who is staying in silence and not make too much noise. And this is helping a lot.
Teodora, you wanted to answer as well.
Yeah, it's a great question first, and I just made a small graph. It's like emotional sentiment. You write because you feel for the other person, and you get into their shoes, and you really want to help, no matter what, no matter the research you will have to do, no matter the fight you will have to do with the SEO guys with the keywords. So when you really want to help, this infuses emotional sentiment in the content. You find a solution, because when there is intent, there are results. And then your digital footprint is something easy, because people know that you care for them, and you will find this solution. Again, this is related to staying with your content. You write your content, and then you are there when people are commenting, when they're asking more questions, when they don't agree with you. Again, this emotional sentiment is not just when writing. You really have to feel for your texts.
I'll add to that and answer the most recent question: how do you decide which sentiment emotion is the one that will connect? And this relates to what Teodora was just saying. It's like, if you're you need to be sincere, is what it kind of comes down to. Some way or another, you have to feel the connection yourself to the thing that you're talking about and the thing that you're sharing. And if you do that, it will come through, kind of almost no matter what you do. To spite yourself, it will come through. And I think that people, if you can get in touch with that, if you can kind of get to that core, then I think it'll come through in the writing, and you will infuse it sort of automatically.
And I also want to add something to that, because people ask me many times how to about emotions and stuff like that. Measuring emotions, it's very difficult in sentiment. It's very, very difficult, and people usually ask me, how do we use this in our copywriting. And normally what I tell them is, you have to know your business from inside out. You have to pass that knowledge to your customers. You have to make them part of the brand journey in a way. I know it's a cliche, but it's true. You have to make them a part of your journey. They have to understand why you're in business in the first place. If you are passionate about what you're doing, then they're going to be passionate about you and your business, and they're going to want to come back to you. But if you're not passionate, or if you can't show them this passion, if you don't want to show them this passion for some strange reason, and most of the time the reason is you do not know your business from inside out, I have to repeat it. But this, most of the time, especially with big companies, and you have to pass that knowledge to every single member of your company. I'm not talking about small business. Everybody in your company has to have this passion, or at least be trained to show this passion. I know I'm using a bad word here, trained, but this is a reality.
Yeah, and it's an issue in small business too, even though it's harder in big business, because no matter who you are, even if you're a single person business, you still need to understand exactly what it is you're doing and why you're doing it to that level of depth.
As far as knowing your business, yeah, this is the Bible.
Can I just say something? Because we're talking. No, I just want to give an example. Apple. Look at them. They know their business, and everybody else knows their business. So everybody else is excited about what they're doing. They want to make a new camera or whatever, and we're all like, oh yeah, let's see this camera. What's going on with this camera? When is this camera coming out and stuff like that? This is the passion you need to have in order for your customers to connect with you on an emotional level.
Yeah, they've made their narrative our narrative, so then it's a shared narrative.
Yes.
Exactly.
As for the inside out, as for knowing the inside out your business, whatever, sorry, this is something that the people I'm writing for are sometimes kind of frustrated about, because I'm so into asking them all the questions I have about their business. And when I write, again, I email them. I want to talk with them. I want to feel the way they understand the world. I want to feel what they are contributing, what they want to contribute to the world. And then, having talked to them, I leave this knowledge to kind of stay for a while within me, and then I start writing, and then I start asking questions again. So if you are to create wonderful content, you don't need, of course you need experts, but you need writers who want to translate your passion into the words of your audience.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so happy you said the right word, asking them questions. But they also have to ask themselves those questions.
Yeah.
I'm always like that. I always ask when people ask me, what should we write about, passion and stuff like that. I just ask them, what is your business really about? If you're making trainers, it's not about trainers. It's about running, man. It's about me buying your trainers, going to the gym. This is your business, running, not trainers, not plastic, not rubber, in a way.
Yeah, I agree.
So I always want to understand what their business is really about, and so give me your passion, and I'll tell you what to write about. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and I would like to add a corollary to that, and that is for people who are looking for someone to write for whatever their reasons are, that you are willing, I'm just going to build on what Omi said, that you are willing to share that. Don't expect a writer to write passionately and engagingly and co-create with your visitors if you give them a list of 17 keywords. That doesn't tell them anything about your business.
And if you don't talk to them.
You need to talk to your writer and and you need to explain exactly what Teodora said. What is your passion? When you tell a writer that, then they can do all the details. They can go and do keyword research. They can find the keywords that your competitors are using, whatever. But unless you share your business passion with the writer, it's not going to be any of the things that Teodora said in her presentation. It cannot be, because the writer is not going to really understand you and your business.
Mary, you were kind of quiet. Yeah, if not to say the least. I don't think you said anything.
I am a quiet person, but I do want to say I appreciate everything you all are saying. I have one client who I've worked with quite a while, and I really understand them, and they want me to write for them because I understand their client, and it's easy once you know, and they have a tough client. It's easy to be passionate about what they want to write about, so that it just goes to your core, and I can write easily there. And I have another client who wants me to find the cheapest keyword and go with that, and we've had many discussions about why that's not going to work. So fortunately, somebody else is involved now too. So, but I appreciate everything you all said, and it's just been amazing to be part of this with you all. So thank you so much.
Okay, guys, do we have more questions? More comments? We've been here more than 1 hour. Now let's check the audience. Yeah, I don't think audience has more questions. Okay. Yeah, okay, if there is no more question, I'll start. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Teodora. It was very, very, very interesting. And when you have a time, you can read all the comments. There was plenty of comments saying how good you are. Okay, thank you, Deputy Gina. I was very, very well done, and we were very nervous when Teodora just came in just in time, so you were understood.
It was always right at the moment.
I don't want to imagine what you were talking about.
Thank you, Zara. Thank you, Zara.
I think the saying is the queen is never late.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, thank you, Omi, and we congratulate you with a new job in the Daily Mail. Thank you, Nina, for being with us. It was very nice to see you and to meet you here. Thank you, Mary. And well, I don't know if William can hear us. Well, but we can see his brilliant thought. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you all. Now we're going off air, so you can do like a hi mom, I'm on the tele, and we're going off air. Thank you everybody who were watching us tonight.
Bye.